Hey guys, just a quick disclaimer, we're not the richest, so we don't have proper mobile audio equipment. But don't worry, we did our best with the audio. This is our trip to the Malaysian Games and Comics Convention. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, welcome to the Malaysian Games and Comics Convention. We're here at KDU. My name is Zach and I'm here with Frags. Say hi, Frags.
Hello.
So if you've never been to the Malaysian Games and Comics Convention, there's some really cool stuff around here. For example, there's some artists for comic books coming in, there's a cosplay event, and there's even gaming tournaments. Now, I've never been either, so let's go check it out. Okay, so we don't have a portable mic, so most of the audio is pretty bad. Never mind, I can just record it like this. Now, the Malaysian Games and Comics Convention was relatively small, but still pretty busy. Lots of cosplay, art, and gaming going on. The first thing we visited was this comic book shop. They had some new stuff like Avengers, and some real classic stuff from Lat. Who else read Kampung Boy when they were a kid? Oh, and my favorite one there, a graphic novel based on R-Pat. Not Twilight, or Edward, Robert Pattinson, the graphic novel. Yeah, I know you want it too. Of course they had some real stuff there too, so not to worry. Okay, so moving on, there was quite a lot to check out. Apparently this chick was supposed to be here, and some of my friends said they were coming just to see her. Well, I don't know about that. But eventually we found the 501st Legion. Now they do a lot of work for charity where they cosplay and hold events and raise money for charity events and stuff like that. So I started talking to this guy, and he just looked badass, so I got to know him a bit better and ask him what's going on. Apparently the Legion is super exclusive, and you can't do anything without approval from the international organization. And by the way, it took him a year to work on that costume. That's dedication. But then I decided to hang out with some of his friends, and I really had a good time with them. They were probably the most exciting bunch there. Check this out.
So you're a purist? Yes, I am. So you look like a badass. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Alright, we're gonna have a dance off. Ready? Come on. We can't dance. I think you win. You win. Thanks, well, yes, that's enough of that. Well, anyway, World of Tanks was there, and they were giving the game out for free, because it's a free-to-play game, so why not? And they also had 4 laptops set up, so they could have a little competition amongst themselves. I don't really know whether it's a good game or not, but you can check that out. Okay, moving on, there are a couple more generic stands and booths there, so nothing all too special with everything there. For some reason, Tourism Selangor was there. I don't know what they got to do with games or comics or anything like that. And then of course there was gaming gear, and some pretty cool gear. I'm not too sure of the specs or if it's actually good or not, but you can look it up if you want. And there was a guy there showing off the computer, and I have to say the game looked fantastic on the machine. And of course that machine was ginormous. You think he's compensating for something? Then we moved into the central area of the hall, where it was just a lot of cool stuff. I mean, there were artists and painters and drawers and people selling soap and clothes and t-shirts and all that good stuff. And plenty of comic book artists there drawing away and everyone watching them. And you could of course buy their art. And this caricature guy, which did some pretty cool caricatures. So if you're an art buff, this would have been a good place for you to be. Then we came across something that was actually really cool. There were all these miniatures and toy soldiers and from all kinds of areas, modern stuff and ancient stuff. I was surprisingly impressed by it actually. It kind of brought back memories of when I was a kid playing with those kind of plastic toy soldiers. Then we came across this pretty cool animation company called Inspidia. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I asked him 3 times when I was there. They've done plenty of international work, even with Cartoon Network. And they had a really cool idea for anyone who wanted to try and apply for a job with them. You should check them out.
We ask people to draw whether they want to be the superhero or supervillain. So they have to fill up their information behind it. So when they fill up and we see the potential there, we will call them back to actually have a chance to talk with them, whether to work with us or not. Something like that. We offer to the people, and there's an information box.
Okay.
The email that if they want to send their resume or sample artworks, they can send to this email.
Alright.
They also can find us in Facebook also.
Okay. So if anyone just wants to join you, just look you up.
Yeah.
Alright, great. Alright, thanks. Oh, and here's something you guys should check out, especially if you're a typical guy.
This is Eco4 and I am going to fold it. This t-shirt we have it.
I can't fold clothes, so hopefully this is good.
I bet you can fold after this. Okay, one. Okay, tada. Are you gonna try?
Okay, let me try.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're gonna have it face down. Yeah. If there's any excessive, like at the bottom, you can take.
Okay guys, just to remind you, for those of you who are interested in the work of Causeway photographer Jay Tabulante, he's having an exhibition and he's selling prints just next door. Proceeds from the sales going to charity, so go and check it out.
Alright, go make your moms proud. Besides that, they also do t-shirt printing, and yes, you can order online, and yes, you can order a custom design or ready-made design from their website, and they'll send it straight to your house. How awesome is that? And check out the quality, it looks pretty good actually.
Okay, check out Zico Tees. Zico Tees, yeah. Have it recorded, right?
Yes, don't worry.
Alright,
See you, thanks.
Okay, then we wanted to go check out the gaming tournaments. First up was the console tournament, which was going on in the main hall itself. And there were some guys there using retro-ass arcade controllers. Super cool. I've never been able to get the hang of those, actually. Then we wanted to go check out the LOL tournament, which was going on apparently on the 3rd floor, so we had to take the lift up. But once we got there, it was actually by the library, and there was this big display of games, like a treasure trove. It had all kinds of board games and video games, console games, PC games, Guitar Hero equipment. It was pretty amazing actually, so we decided to chill by that wall for a while. This kind of stuff makes you forget it's a university you're at. Oh, by the way, here's a Diablo 3 key. Ha, no, just kidding, there's no way that's still valid. Anyway, right next to this room was the LOL tournament, and it had a pretty cyber cafe atmosphere. Just look at it. And apparently this is the gaming lab. It's pretty cool to have one of these in your college. Everyone's decked out, of course, using Alienware computers. They had 10 set up right there. And all kinds of monitors. I didn't even know what they were for. They just seemed to have monitors just to look cool. And it was pretty strange having the cyber cafe atmosphere right next to what was the library. If you turned around, it was like people studying and stuff. It was really weird. Alright, that basically covers the Malaysian Games and Comics Convention. It was my first time there, but actually I had a lot of fun. Relatively speaking, it's a pretty small convention, but I think it was just about the right size for this time. For a first time experience, it was pretty cool. And I have to say, the highlight of the day was the 501st Legion. Do check them out, very cool. So overall, I'm leaving this event pretty happy, and I might start going to more of these events actually. And if you enjoyed this video, let me know. Comment, like, dislike, whatever. Be sure to check me out at my channel, youtube.com/gamerzak, and don't forget to check out MalaysianGamer.com. Alright, I'll see you in the next video.